Well, I think we have a lot of new faces today, a couple of people from previous weeks as well. So for those who are new, this is the 40K to 400K formula. Now, I know it's a bit of an interesting name, and I had a lot of people say, well, I'm not in that 40K already kind of area. So is this good for me? Yes, guys, this is going to be good for absolutely all of you. So what we're going to be going through today is going to be all about strategy that we use to help Aussie-based e-commerce brands grow. And there is a couple things I do want to go through quickly, guys. The first one is going to be just to try and put away about the next 60 minutes, if possible. Remove as many distractions as you can. Now, obviously, I understand if you have kids and things like that, completely fine. Don't worry, guys. Like we all have like these kind of things, and it's no problem. We try to keep it a little bit casual here, but just to get the most out of it, see if you can try and get the next 60 minutes locked in. I see a lot of awesome faces and cameras on here today, so thank you so much for doing that. It helps with our presentation a lot. If you haven't already and you're open to it, guys, please turn on your webcam. Just so when I speak to you, it's nice to see people's faces. And lastly, a lot of you already have, which is good, but this is going to be a bit more of an interactive session than maybe some others that you've potentially been to. So we are going to use the chat function a fair bit. So just want to make sure if everyone understands and everyone's good on how to use a chat function, just give me a yes in the chat and we'll kind of get things going from there. Now, how do I get the chat up here as well for me? Perfect. Yes from you, D, Deb. Yeah, Johnny. Awesome. Thank you, guys. And Roxy and Chris, just keep an eye out for those joining in. I think we got a couple in there. We'll get them in when we kick off. Cool. All right. The yeses all around. Lovely. So a couple of things we want to cover in today's call. And this is going to be, it's really all about, even for beginners, people who already have websites, we really want to focus on how to actually turn browsers into buyers. And when I say that, I'm really talking about conversion rate and conversion rate optimization. And just in case you're not aware, conversion rate is simply, say you get 100 people who land on your website and one purchases, that's a 1% conversion rate. So the higher that conversion rate is, the more money you'll make and the more profitable you'll be when you send traffic to your website. So we're very big on that. And we want to go through how you can do that with your website today. The next is to see if we can find a little bit of maybe some reasons why potentially if you've run ads in the past or you've worked with an agency who were there to try and build your website and get your sales, maybe you didn't work out. I'm going to touch on a few reasons why that might not be the case and why, what you can do moving forward. And lastly is I want you to walk away from this session with a really solid plan on what you need to be focusing on for the next, say, 90 days. It's really important in e-commerce. I know a lot of people get into this space or they say they buy a business and that it's a lot more complicated maybe than it first seemed. There's a lot of plates that they're spinning and this overwhelm can get, it can get very overwhelming. So what we try and do is get very clear on these are the moves we need to make to really grow our business efficiently. So we'll be tackling all those things today. And some of the questions I typically get when I chat to people before this workshop is, I'm not sure if this is going to be right for me. And there's usually kind of three reasons like why they're asking that. And it's usually the first one will be, I'm in an interesting niche. Is it going to work in my niche, what we're about to go through? And guys, short answer, yes, it doesn't matter what niche you're in, as long as it's not kind of taboo. And last week, someone thought I said tattoo. No, taboo, TABOO. If it's a taboo niche, like say adult industry kind of stuff, that stuff we don't touch too much because it does get a little complicated. But if it's just any other product and you're selling a business product online with your business, yes, what we're about to go through will work for you today. Second is kind of like at my size. I've just started, or I don't even have a product, or I'm already doing 6 figures a month. Is this going to be useful to me? Short answer is it's not really the short answer, but I'll explain it actually. So the same stuff when we work with people who are doing 50 grand or 100 grand a month already, that same stuff that we do for them, this is the principles that we teach people who are just starting. So yes, what we go through is going to be relevant to you, whether you're starting or whether you're thinking about how do I scale. And the last bit is something that, sorry guys, there is something in my eye if you see me doing this, but I will keep going anyway. The last one is, will it work now? And the reason people ask this is because there's a lot of information circulating about Shopify and e-commerce that kind of isn't relevant anymore, that maybe was a fad or was like, say, for example, just drop ship some crap from China and just run ads to it and you'll be able to be profitable and run a business. And that just isn't the case anymore. So everything that we teach you today is relevant and consistently tested by us actually working on e-commerce businesses. So everything that we teach you is directly from results. So basically, yep, guys, if you're in e-commerce already, this is going to be useful for you. The thing that we don't do though, guys, is I'm not here to actually convince you if you're just starting and you're trying to figure out what is a side income I can, use to get some money. I'm not here to convince you that Shopify is the way. It's just if you're here to build an e-commerce business, That's what those are the kind of people that I'm looking to help. So, a couple of things on who this is for. Ideally, guys, the way we get results with people is typically because they're passionate about either the business that they run, the product they sell, or just building a business in general. They probably have a very strong why. However, if you're just in this for like some quick money and hopefully that it turns around in 2 months and you make some money and you leave, it's probably not for you. We really want to help people to grow real businesses that they are passionate about every single day. And all of the time when you get involved in this, you can, like I said before, start to feel overwhelmed. Again, I want to help really come up with a very solid plan on your next steps to figure out, what you need to focus on to really see the growth that you want, honestly. And I mean, we all going to be honest with ourselves. We're in business usually because we want to make money. We want to maybe leave our jobs or just have a nice side income while we work our main jobs, whatever it may be. But what we want to make sure on is that we're also profitable, right? So we don't just have a business that creates revenue, and we're not just paying the ATO and employees and our manufacturers and our agencies and all that. We want to make sure there's actually money at the end of the month coming into our pockets. So if any of these kind of like fit you, then you're definitely in the right spot as well. Now, usually Paul kind of takes these. He's still away with his family, so I'm kind of running these at the moment. So I'm not going to talk about Paul. What I will talk about is what we do and why you should be listening to us. So we have kind of two sides to what we do full time. One is called Insiteful. It's our Insiteful. It's our Shopify agency where we build high converting Shopify sites for Aussie brands, about 100 every year. And the second side it's called the eCommerce Circle. This is our private mentoring community where basically we help about 200 people at the moment in their Aussie-based e-commerce brands, all the way from starting from just scratch, not even with a product, all the way up until scaling the businesses to 6 and 7 figure months. So basically, guys, we are all in e-commerce 24/7 and have been for a while now. So this is just to say everything that we're about to go through is directly from experience. It's not just theory. Let's get through this bit and yeah, not too relevant. So look, guys, these are just some screenshots. I know like anyone can kind of send out screenshots. It's just kind of the easiest medium for me to share some results with you. But again, this is just to say that we are working with brands doing pretty good numbers and are growing. These are old, to be honest, so these brands are doing even better. But yeah, guys, just I know they're just screenshots, but we like to share them sometimes. But this is a little bit more interesting. So I want to show you Steve. So Steve, he runs Holdcom. They sell like hold and performance parts, and you can see in the top right there. But basically, Steve came to us. He's doing about 50K a month. And we tackled for him was basically really optimizing his website for conversions. That was a big thing that we tackled with him that he hadn't done before. And then all we did was run a pretty high quality digital kind of marketing campaign and just got more traffic to this website. We're able to take it to, this is old as well, but at the time they're doing about 250K a month. I think it's even higher now. So again, with simple conversion optimization, brand messaging, and then digital strategy, we're able to turn this business around. Paul and Delane, these guys, they're a pretty awesome couple. They have these protein and collagen supplements, and they would kill it at markets, do really, really well. Some of you might be able to relate to this. So they have awesome product. They know because they do markets every week, and they do really, really well. They make about, say, 7-8K a month just doing markets. And they're like, okay, cool, our product is great. We need to get out to more people. We just don't know how to do that ourselves. So that's where we got in contact with them. And basically, we just built them a high converting website, nailed that brand messaging, and then it was as simple as we send ads to send traffic to the website, and we're able to get them to about 50, 60K months within just a few months. These guys at the moment, I believe, are kind of like just they don't want to grow anymore. They have 2 kids, so we just make sure we're muted there, guys. So they have 2 kids. They have like a good family balance, and like they don't really want to do any more work, so they kind of just sit around that mark, and they're super happy. Then I've got some other examples of people who are more at the start. So, for example, Karen, who's in her 70s, not techie at all, sells teacups, was on Etsy. Basically, we showed her how to transfer from Etsy to Shopify, create a high converting website that really showed people what she's all about and the kind of products that she makes. And she's now doing about 15K a month and like really thriving in that and loving what she's doing. And she wants to grow it as far as possible. And then my last example here is Jade. Jade is someone who, she's a mum, was a full-time physiotherapist. Literally had barely any time to do anything else. And she joined us. She actually did one of these workshops about a year ago. And she didn't even have a product. And this is the same thing I'll tell you guys. If you don't have a product, you want to find something that you are either passionate about or you have an authority in. The reason why is because it's very, very easy for you to become an authority in this. Or like when you sell, you can build a lot of trust. And it's able to kind of, it just helps you when you go to sell this product in the market. And that's exactly what Jade did. She started up a business for I think mums who are having in pregnancies just like stuff to help with them in that whole process. And it's pretty awesome. She just comes to our calls, listens to us, much like this workshop, and basically just worked away and chipped away. Now she's doing about 15 to 20K a month, while still doing a full-time job, having her kids and everything. And she's thinking about how she can transfer fully online in the next year or so. So all this is to just say, guys, again, like what we teach you here today, it's real. We use it, and we use it for so many different levels that I'm certain that it's going to be helpful for you too. And I want to ask your permission. Obviously, we do these about an hour a week, and the reason why is because I want to meet more people that I can help, to be honest. And towards the end, if you get a lot of value out of this and you really feel like we know what we're talking about, and then you could see growth by working next to us, I just want to get kind of a permission. I'm just asking permission if it's okay with you guys at the end if I share how you can continue to work with us after it's all said and done. If you're cool with it, just drop a yes for me. That's all I need. And if no, absolutely no worries. Like you can get to the end of it and then just leave. Like this, we're definitely not holding you here. I only want you here because you're interested. Awesome, a lot of yeses there. Perfect, guys. All right, well, just love to see it. Thanks for being so interactive, guys, as well. It makes the session like so much better for the whole team. Something I want to get straight with everybody is going to be kind of where are you at right now? So I want to kind of see the audience. Do we have a lot of startups? Do we have a lot of people who's setting up or on scale up? Just so I can make sure when I do give feedback or if I'm giving a bit of strategy, I can make sure they tailor it to kind of what the audience is looking like. So if you're open to it, let me know. I got Michelle's startup, Johnny startup, Lumo startup, Deb startup, cool, UD startup, pre-startup. No worries. Don't feel bad about being startup. That's okay. Anywhere from scratch to 5K. A lot of startups, perfect. Let Gene in there. Andrew startup, Harneck startup. Awesome, cool. So now I just know moving forward, I'll make sure to keep it in that kind of niche. But if you're doing a little bit more and you want me to re-explain something for maybe if you're already doing 50K a month, I also want you to put your hand up and say, hey, look, I maybe need a little bit more specific info, and I can do that too. Salvatore and scale up, no worries, mate. Alan, yes, perfect. Julie setting up, perfect. Cool, good mix, guys. And I am trying to just get through this bit as fast as possible so we can get to the good stuff. But yeah, a couple more results. Again, doesn't mean too much. It's just screenshots. But yeah. So guys, this is what we call the more orders model. So when we work with any brand, say if there's a brand who comes to us and they're like, we're doing 50K a month. I want to get to 250K a month in the next 6 months. Or someone comes to us and says, I want to learn how to build a business from scratch. These are the same three things that we really focus on. Alan, my first time using Zoom, struggling on an iPhone. You just have to do it as best you can, mate, or get into a Lappy if you can. So there's three sides to any ecom business that we really focus on. Now, I actually gave you a couple of clues in the kind of previous examples as to what those things are that we really work on. And I want to give you guys a chance to guess what you think those things might be. So there's three things here. They all start with S. I think if I go right once, Chris, it'll kind of... Yeah, cool. I want you guys to guess. What do you think are each of the three things that we focus on anytime we work with any brand that's trying to scale? No silly guesses at all. UD setup. Yep. Yeah, no problem with the setup. Any guesses, guys? What do you think? If I get none, then I'll just move through. All right. No bites. Fair enough, guys. So the three things that we store, bang, Johnny manages to get in one shot anyway. Sales, setup, and scaling. Sales and scaling is basically the result of doing these things. So store is one. That's a really good guess. I'll give you the others, guys. The other is story and strategy. I'm going to explain what I mean by each of those quickly. So store comes down to conversion rate optimization. Like I said before, it's how many people can we actually turn into customers who land on our website. So Chris, you make sure everyone's muted. I can just hear myself in reverb. Guys, make sure we're just muted unless you're speaking. That way I don't hear myself.
Yeah, I think it was just Jen
there. Perfect. All good. So the reason why conversion rate optimization is so important is because say you're a small brand, right? We don't have a lot of money to spend and we want to grow our business or our website. So we want to spend money on, say, Facebook ads. Now, if we spend, say, $1,000 and we send that traffic to a website that converts at 1% and we make back $1,000, then we've broken even. It isn't a great result. Now, if that website had a 2% conversion rate instead of a 1%, from that same $1,000, you now make $2,000. And now you have $1,000 profit. Now, it's obviously a very simple example and scenario, but that's just to say, with small businesses, we're so focused on how important that conversion rate optimization is so that when you do spend money and you do invest into traffic to your website, it actually results in money back. This cash flow tends to be the thing that kills a lot of businesses. And also just getting that feeling that you are growing and seeing that success, those sales coming back and just keep you really, really kind of enthusiastic about the growth that you are seeing. So conversion rate optimization is a big thing, and we're going to tackle that with some websites today. The second thing is story. Now, what I mean by story is it's really brand messaging and brand communication. And that is in words, how do we communicate who we do, who we are, what we do, and why people should be buying from us and not other brands. So basically we work with mainly small Aussie businesses. And for all Aussie businesses, you're going to have big competitors, no matter what your niche is. And the thing is, these guys will typically have deeper pockets than you, and they can typically afford to undercut you. So unless we have a way to really build a connection to our audience through our brand messaging and really kind of build trust and show people where the right people to buy from, then we're going to face this thing where people just price shop. They're going to see our products and say, I can go anywhere else. I can go to Kogan, literally. They'll probably just slap up these products and sell the same thing. I'll just go buy from them because it's cheaper and more convenient. And this is exactly where brand messaging comes in. And it's honestly the first thing we tackle anytime we work with a client. And the last thing is strategy. Simply, what I mean by strategy is, well, how do we sustainably grow our business month on month? And when I say sustainably, I mean, look, guys, a lot of us, we need cash flow. Cash flow is important. We need to make sure when we're investing, we're getting money back. So then we can invest a little bit more the next month and the month after that. And making sure when we're running ads that we're doing it to the right platform at the right timing and making sure we're hitting all our good metrics. So we know that when we do increase our investments, that it's because we are seeing success and we're just doubling down, not just kind of shooting in the wind. So that's what I mean by strategy. So these three things, guys, this is what we help everyone with. And we're going to tackle that today with a couple people with their websites. So I did see a couple who were linked before I did want to look at. So if you can, link your websites again in the chat. And we're going to pick a couple. As you guys sent so many messages, it's hard for me to scroll up. I think it was Joe with Prep It. Yep. We got UD and Joe, Prep It, Michelle. Yes, honey. Yep. Awesome. Perfect, mates. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, buddy.
Awesome. Well, would you like to just give a quick introduction to yourself and Prep It, and we can kind of start tackling a couple of these things?
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no worries. So I'm from Sydney. My name's Joe. I'm here with my business partner, UD. And we've only been doing this for 2 months.
Yep.
And the last month, we've got our first 5K, which was quite exciting.
Nice.
So we kind of used that to, prove that, the MVP worked and we've got product market fit.
Yeah.
We've got a pretty good persona. It's a lot of females buying the products, probably about 90% females buying the products, doing meal preparation for their family. So it's what you see on screen here. It's these silicone trays that we're selling. We did that shoot ourselves. We prepped this food ourselves, and we're both big food preppers from way back. So awesome. we got these trays custom made out of silicone, and they're high grade silicone, and they also are perfect in the freezer, the fridge, the microwave, and of course the oven for those delicious chocolate brownies.
Wow.
So so my background is UX and UI.
Cool.
And my dream for this is, so I can kind of focus on this as kind of, kind of step up my hours on this as we scale.
Yep.
But for now, I'm doing a few different things. I'm working on some other websites and doing a few things. But using Shopify and really like the platform.
Awesome.
But like I said, we're 2 months in. This is our second month. We hit 5K in the second month.
Yep.
So we're definitely still learning. I'd call us definitely a startup, but at least there's some revenue coming in. Yeah, and we do have a bit of a story as well, but we haven't kind of written up the story properly yet.
Yeah. See what you mean. Guys, this is kind of like a peak example of what I was saying before of if you have a product that is already like it's proven, you're coming from maybe you're doing markets or you've got this authority in it because you worked in the industry before and you know it's a good product. Like if you already know there's a demand for it and it's good, then the next bit is just simply I need a website it's gonna be built to basically sell this for me. And that's essentially what we're doing here. And that's probably why you've seen so much success because the product's already proven. Or like you coming in with this authority, like your background, you kind of already knew this product was going to be good. And so like bang out the gate, you're able to do 5K in 2 months, which is awesome. Are you doing ads or anything at the moment?
Yeah, we've just started experimenting with ads and just a little bit on Meta and a little bit on Google. But the whole ad things are quite new to me.
Yep.
So I might let UD talk because he's a little bit more experienced with the ad stuff and he's very passionate about these trades as well. He also does a lot of meal prep at home. So
cool.
Yeah, UD, do you want to tell the people a bit about your story and then what we're up to with campaigns and things?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Joe. Hey, Chris and team.
Nice to meet you, mate.
Yeah, we've been sitting on this idea for probably a whole year. We had this in our inventory in the store for another year. And finally, Joe and I got together and we decided, all right, it's time to do this, Let's just find time and let's get this done. We had a very good response, as Joe mentioned, in the first month. The second month is even better. Every day we have 5 or 6 Shopify sales coming in. We are advertising right now on Google Ads. We are doing just the search campaign, hitting the people with the intent. We have a bit of a Facebook campaign active as well.
How much are we spending altogether, UD?
Very, 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 very conservative. We have probably $1,000 a month going on Facebook and $1,000 a month going on Google Ads. But that was just the initial basic startup. We wanted to see if we're going in the right direction with it. And we're getting good results from it.
How's the conversion rate of the website?
1.7%. As it stands. But the good thing is it's up by 500%.
That's always good. That's probably why we've had a pretty good month. Awesome. All right, cool. Well, with that info, we can tackle a couple things. And look, when I land on this, I can see why it's already had some success. So I'm going to point out some things that you guys are doing pretty well, I think, already. So obviously, look, the creative is great. The reason why this creative is good, guys, and this is for everyone watching this, if you're thinking of how to have a hero banner, like this thing that comes up here as soon as people land your website, what should you put there? Well, it's going to be something that immediately shows me what your product does. That's the best kind of creative you can do. And like I can say, when I land here, I can see very clearly what this product is and what it does. It's nicely done. Now, you don't need a fancy video all the time. Like if you're just starting, obviously this is really nicely done. But that's kind of what I think you're very much hitting there is I land here and I know what it is that I'm looking at. And that's a big deal, guys. Whenever you're kind of building a website, you want to think like if someone lands, we don't have large attention spans anymore. Do I know as soon as I land your website, like I said before, who you are, what you do, and why I should spend another 20 seconds scrolling through your page before purchasing? And here, like I can say that you immediately hit that like one of those marks. So good job there. And then second, this is arguably the most important experience on any website because this is where everyone's going to land, and you might see you have a high bounce rate because people just don't get that feeling that I mentioned before. But if I go through this should be your H1, I imagine. Stack, store, heat, repeat, prep smarter with our flexible silicone containers. This is part of what we call our brand messaging strategy. And that is getting really clear on the words. It's not just like who your audience is. It's getting that who and what they want and turning that into words and communicating that on your website. So ideally, you want your business to be a 24/7 salesperson. So say you had this awesome product, you want to make sure that even if you're not there, you're not at a stall or a stand or in your brick and mortar store, that you can send someone to your website and all this information gets kind of given on the website, that they don't need to speak to anyone. And here you're really hitting it here. Honestly, the fact that you're saying flexible silicone containers, that is already really good for what we call your on-page SEO. So it's clear I know what I'm looking at, although I would make that bigger. I think that's a big deal saying silicone containers. I would make that bigger and more readable. But it just hits the notes. Like I can see what I'm getting. I can see what it does. I can see what it looks like. I think maybe there is a bit deeper level you could go. I'm going to give you an example, but also Chris McLean, Mustache Man on the call with me. He's our head of branding. And he does this for a lot of clients. So, Chris, is there anything you would go deeper on this as an H1 and H2?
No, it's a good example. There's a lot of stuff that you're doing from a proper brand perspective where like, so the name itself, Prep It, kind of preps me, right?
Yeah.
Pun intended, preps me for what I'm about to see. And then there's actually that payoff, right? Because it's not called Chris's Containers or the container business or something, or Chris's business. And then I get here and like, what is the business? You've got it, which we see a lot of the time, but Prep It, and then it's clearly food prep, and you've got the video actually showing food prep. So this is a nice way to quickly communicate what you're doing visually.
Yep.
But where Chris is going with the text, possibly because you're doing all of that, generally in an H1, like in that bigger slab of text, you'd want a keyword in there, like the silicon containers or silicon prep containers in that H1. But potentially you could recode it. If you can recode the smaller text that has the flexible silicon containers to be the H1, so it's actually it's coded as the H1, which is the most important piece of text for Google. And then because I like the stack store heat repeat, because the prep it and the stack store heat repeat and showing the visual tells me very clearly what it is. So you don't need to go much deeper into describing it, I don't think, with words, but if you can flip those two so that the stack store heat repeat is actually coded H2 and the one with the keyword in it, which has the prep in it and the silicon containers, I think that'll do a lot for the actual conversion from an SEO perspective.
For sure. And just
so otherwise, awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And just so everyone understands, when we say H1 and H2, that simply means you're heading 1 and heading 2. So every time you add like text in Shopify, you'll notice it's called like heading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for that specific on-page SEO we mentioned, to utilize that, you want to make sure your H1 and H2 both contain keywords. This way, Google, like they look at your H1 and H2 on each one of your pages, is going to rank you for that. So you want to do a bit of research, find what people are searching to find your product, and then make sure we're including that on your pages. This is going to help you get a lot of traffic for free. But yeah, look, we can see, like, guys, this is an example of doing it right. And I think this is partly why you guys have seen success from the get-go. Obviously, there actually are going to be a couple things that we can do to definitely improve this. And I'm tackling that quickly. But I'll give you another example of another brand. They're doing a special sale, so it's not going to have it. Can you see Nature's Pantry at the moment? Yep. So these guys, another lovely couple that we worked with, they sell clean collagen and protein, right? I've actually got some of this product. It's great, but you'll notice straight away the H1 and the H2. Australia's cleanest collagen and protein. Active Aussie families, you search for clean, quality, and affordable daily nutrition ends here. So it's like we're pointing out who it's for. We're pointing out what it is that we do and basically why you should be coming to us immediately to buy our products, because they're good quality or whatever it may be, because it's clean. But then what we also do, and this is what you're actually missing at the moment, is basically that authority building that I spoke about before. Now, brand messaging is a lot about this, is building authority. And you'll find when it comes to conversion rate optimization, there is mechanically how the website's built and how it flows that affects the conversion rate. But the other side is also the words that you say in the brand messaging that's going to make people decide if they purchase from you or not. So with you, we can kind of see we get that nice bit, but then straight away it's kind of like here's our products. And I like the idea. It is put your favorite products close, high to the top, the things that people want to buy or the things you want to sell the most. That's good, but you're missing a lot of opportunity to really build that brand further and that trust. And I'll show you a couple of examples of how we do it. So for us, it's always like, again, like what are people thinking before as a small Aussie brand? They're thinking, can I trust these guys, essentially? So we don't even let them question it. And this is for everyone who's building a website from scratch. You want to address these things from the get-go. So obviously you're not going to have a lot of reviews from the start. That's okay. You don't need that straight away. But if you do have reviews, put them right at the top, guys. This is like the immediate proof. There's no reason not to include this. So do you have many reviews yourself? Because you guys have done some orders already.
Yeah, we have done some orders, but we've not started collecting reviews yet. Yeah, it's right up the alley. Probably.
Definitely start, because then this becomes an asset for you down the track. Always try. What you can do is like incentivize reviews, like give a little discount, etc. Things like this for reviews. If the more you collect, it compounds. And then next, this is just pure brand messaging. These things. Every website we build goes into kind of 4 what I call brand trust icons. And it's not about necessarily why you should buy the product. It's more about why you should buy from our brand, which sometimes mixes in with product if you're a one product store. Like you guys are very similar to that. But for example, like you've told me like your story about having, such a big past in, prepping food. and yet it's not kind of baked into this. So just having things like high quality, like all those things you said to me before about it being high quality, oven proof, made by people who've been prepping food for years. This is like literally this is all the things I would be putting here, right? And it's the same again. Anyone who's just starting from scratch, or if you already got a business and you're not doing this, think about it. Why is someone about to land your website? Why are they about to spend money with you? Like, do you feel trustworthy or not? And are you doing something to build up that trust? And that's what I would tackle immediately with you guys. And that's going to definitely do like wonders for your conversion right there.
So you're giving positioning, but you're also giving benefits before you go straight into the technicalities of the product and the different shapes. And you're giving that customer benefit, which helps them go, that's why I need it. I need it because it's more compact. It's going to help me prep better. It's going to save me time in the morning. It's going to get my kids out the door faster. Whatever those real customer benefits are, that's what you want to put in those kind of trust icons at the top there.
Yeah. Did that make sense to you guys?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. Coming from a brand background myself, I 100% agree with both of you.
Yep.
It's just when you start up, you have so much to do.
Yeah, that's normal.
You know?
Very normal, very normal. And like that's kind of we'll tackle that in a bit in terms of like what to focus on. Because a lot of people do feel that way as well. And like guys, I just want to know, does that make sense for everyone in the chat as well? Is there anything that didn't quite click with you that you need explaining? I want to make sure. Give me a yes if it's all good, or if it's a no, give me a no. I can't quite see the chat though, so I need to be told if people are asking questions. Yes, yes. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. This is such a big deal, guys. Every brand that we work with, literally the first thing that we do is we tackle the brand messaging. And even for beginners, you've got a product, awesome. If you haven't got a product, awesome, you got to work on that. And there's definitely ways to do that as well. But if you've got a product, start thinking, who is it for? What are the benefits? Why would they buy from me? And the more you know this, it's like even if you're in a market, you're in person, even if you got a social media channel like Instagram, or like say you got a store, no matter where you are, like this same messaging is going to be congruent everywhere, and you're going to know how to address your audience, and it's super, super impactful. So everyone needs to nail this eventually for their brand. So a couple of things in terms of just basic conversion rate optimization. Just so you know, like when we build websites, guys, we have what we call a high converting framework. We typically custom code in like about 400 things. And it's just little functions that the more you put together, the more cleaner an experience it'll be. And naturally, the easier it is, the higher your conversion rate will be. And I'll give you a couple of examples of these for you guys. So off the get-go, no add to cart buttons. I have to hover over it to see an add to cart button. Instantly, this is just I'm going to give you kind of the way of thinking here. We like to build our websites in a way that it sounds mean, but I like to think that even dummies can use our websites. And what I mean by that is, even if you don't know how to use a computer or you're really lazy, you can find how to buy from us. So every time you give someone a step they have to complete to take the next action with you, the lower your conversion rate to that next step will be, and ultimately the lower your entire store conversion rate will be. So for example, me having to scroll to find an add to cart button or just a button for action, it might seem small, and it is. But the more of these you have, they're going to build up, and you're going to find that your website doesn't convert where it needs to be. So have big, clear add to cart buttons. I can probably give you some examples here on these guys with their products. Add to cart, big and gold. You can see here straight away. Don't make me look for it. Just have it there. Probably don't need to harp on that.
Like walking into the supermarket, right? You got your trolley. You just want to go start adding stuff to your cart, not have to go to a different department to find out the product, which is what you're doing here, right? I've got to go to another thing and then come back to this page to kind of get back to where I was. So having that add to cart lets you start shopping without leaving this first page.
Yeah. Now when I go to this bit, the why prep it, I love the educational bit. That's awesome. Do you find you usually get a lot of questions about your products, guys?
Sorry, what's the question?
Do you find that you usually get a lot of products about like a lot of questions about what your products can do?
We have not received any questions regarding that. We have received questions, a lot of them regarding the dimensions of the product.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what I would do is, what you're doing here is good. You're doing an educational piece. And typically when you have like, say, a store that's like just a few products, and you really got to iterate like why they would be purchasing this thing, it is good to like kind of use these educational pieces to say, hey, look, this is why it's so good. This is what's important. Like reduces food waste, saves money, saves time. These are all good, like really good examples. However, I would also listen to the audience. If you're hearing mainly dimension questions, then answer that on the website. Again, that means that it's not being displayed on the website enough. But I'll give you an example of a completely different business, but this is Bayside Golf. These guys sell golf simulators. They go in your garage. They're about 10K a piece. This guy does about like $500,000 a month and still has his corporate job, which is pretty sick. But you'll see it's a one product store, but it's a pretty concerned purchase. So we go really heavy into the educational piece because we know, again, people are going to have these questions, and you got to build your website as if it is a 24/7 salesperson. So can people buy from me without even needing to speak to me? That's the biggest drop off people have when they say have a brick and mortar store, or they have something that's successful markets, but they don't quite succeed online. It's because they don't quite do those things. And I think here, same with you. You need to jump off, Salvatore. No worries. Awesome. We'll chat with you after, Salvatore. So this is important. The education is, but I would do it in a way that, like, don't make me have to click more to see that info. I would display it nicely throughout the website, but also I would use customer feedback, like what questions are they asking, and address those. Because ultimately, if they're not asking about like any of these, then they're not important. Although it might just be because you've answered them, but they don't ask the question. So don't take that as don't have this. But does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah, 100%.
Perfect. And the rest, look, the rest of the things you're doing pretty good. I would say get your story in there. I tell everyone this. This is a big part of brand messaging. You don't have to use your own story. It's really awesome if you do, because a lot of the time people actually buy from the people behind the brands or what the brand represents, not just the product. And if you can put a person at the front of it to let people kind of connect with, it's super helpful, especially guys like if you both were, food preppers. I feel like people who are into this will be able to kind of connect with you a little bit if you're comfortable with it. Have you thought about putting yourselves out there a little bit more?
Still struggling with it. There's a bit of content that I need to create as well.
Yeah.
but yeah, I understand the point, and I think we should do it.
Yeah. And look, again, this is like a comfortability thing. If you're open with being with it, then awesome, do it. If not, then there are other ways for sure. Now I'll touch on the collections page. Actually, I'll go straight to the products page because there's not many in terms of in terms of a collection. Would this be your most popular one? The packs? What do you sell the most of?
These are the 3 bundles. Yeah,
okay, I'll do the super awesome tray bundle. All right, nice name.
Yeah, so we only have 3 products and That's 3 bundles. The super awesome is probably the second best seller after the family bundle.
Yep.
And the more items in the bundle, the cheaper it gets.
Yep.
So this bundle has our 3 hero products plus another 2 up. So very popular. People are going for the bundles because the other thing is, as soon as you spend over $100, which a lot of customers are doing, so then all they need to do is buy a super awesome and a couple of others, or sometimes they buy a super awesome and a family, so they've got like a whole bunch they can just pack.
Yep.
Then they get their free delivery as well. For orders $100 and over.
Perfect. No, that's cool. It's good. Again, good positioning and anchoring there with the pricing. I like what I see so far. Sorry, but I do have all the Zoom things blocking half the page. Let me get rid of them. All right. So when I land on here automatically, we see super awesome tray bundle. The photos are great. I would recommend try and have people like using the product as well, although it kind of is. So photos are actually pretty good, to be honest. Not much to nitpick there. I would have in your H1 again the keyword. What is this product? Because there's no reason not to have this rank as well. And something we got BioShop A. That's good. What I would do here is, because we don't have many products, it's going to be very easy for you to do this. It's a little different. Like say if you have 1,000 products, but I would just outline in 5 dot points, bang, 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 the top kind of selling features and benefits of these products. Like when you're doing the homepage, you're affirming with them that they're buying from the right brand and they're happy to make an experience with you. Then they click through, and now we got to reaffirm why they're about to actually purchase from you. And so the first thing we want to do is when they land on your product pages, just say, these are the reasons you're about to purchase with us. And just reiterate it, bang, just like that. So then don't even make them question it. Don't make me have to read this. Like some of this can just be confusing and I got to figure out what it is. Just give me bang, 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 simple selling points. And then if you have information like proportions and sizing, have that in drop downs here. This is what this real estate's for. And yeah, it's actually kind of wasted real estate. So that should be that anyway. I would have.
Probably want to go into stuff like, is it microwave free? It's got no nasties in it, no microplastics, all that, because it's food, right? It's food grade, it's professional.
Yep.
All that kind of stuff is the stuff I'd be thinking about. Like, how it looks great, but is it going to leach into my food? What types of food can I put in it? Is it microwave safe? Like you said, you can put it in the oven. Like that's a massive thing. Oven safe.
Yeah.
These sorts of things are just get like these tick, 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 tick that people are going to be thinking that just like, yep, I have to buy it now. It does everything. It's safe, goes everywhere. All those little things is what Chris is talking about there.
Did I get rid of my share, by the way?
No, still sharing.
You're good. Yeah.
I've lost myself. But yeah, so definitely I would address that, and also like the shipping. I always a lot of people
Need
do like
some
the
shipping
free,
info too, yeah.
yeah, shipping info right underneath where they're about to purchase from you. Again, just you're trying to reaffirm every action they're about to take with you. So anytime you're like, do this for me, give them a reason to do it or a reason to feel trusted about doing this.
Yeah.
And then we go
Nuke
underneath.
nuke the share feature. No one shares stuff anymore.
Oh
So
yeah,
nuke
yeah,
that,
the
and
stuff,
instead
yeah.
of that, put in your shipping. So ships same day, 3 to 5 days, ships from Queensland, sustainable packaging, expected in 2 days, all this kind of stuff. So again, I know it's safe, and then I know I've got an expectation of when I'm going to receive it. If
Yep.
I might need it by the weekend, like, oh, it's going to be here in 2 days, perfect. Or if I've
Yep.
got a party, oh, it's not going to get here in time. So these sorts of things, again, help drive that decision of, and I want it, but when's it going to show up?
Yeah, great points.
Do you have
Definitely
returns
this stuff.
policies? If I buy it and it's broken, do you send me a new one? These sorts of things, just sort of fight that, combat
The
those
confidence.
decisions.
Yeah. Definitely this stuff down here, like I would just move up. Like you may like, that'll come up in your cart anyway. That's how it should be. But like the 100% safe for use, like these are the benefits. You kind of got them here. We're just making people go down, so it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, they're just a bit far down. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, look, guys, I think you're doing a lot right, and that's just a couple things you can do that I think are going to kind of dramatically help already. What I want to do now is a
really
bit of
good
a
tips.
plan. What was that, sorry, mate?
Yeah, really good tips there. They're great. Thanks for for featuring us.
No
Appreciate
worries, we do this quite a lot.
it.
But what I want to do now is a bit of a plan. So how we're going to tackle this business. I know you guys, you're not full time in it yet. You got so much time in your hands, and this is the thing, guys, is no one has 40 hours to just extra hours to just invest into their business. So you got to be strategic. Like, what am I going to put my time into? And make sure that the things that you do put your time into are effective and are going to be the thing that's going to get you furthest and the fastest. So I'll share again and kind of tackle that for you. So we like to usually do this over here we go, over 360 days, but I'm just going to focus on the next 90 for you guys. So we've already got a website that's, we started sending some traffic and it did pretty well. The conversion rate's 1.7%, and I definitely think that could be a lot higher. So there's kind of two things that we could tackle here before we start looking to spend more on ads, because I would definitely say if we could bump that up a little bit more, I don't know, 2.5% even to 3%, then I would say, okay, now we can start thinking about how do we increase our money on ads. At that point, you start thinking about how do I make better creatives for ads to scale them more. But for the next 45 to 90 days, again, it depends how fast you guys work and how much you want to focus on this stuff. I would be doing nothing but brand messaging and conversion rate optimization. So focus on those two things. Really nail the who we are, what we do, and why people should be buying from us, and nail the exact things that has to go on the website and where to really kind of get that message across. And then just those little features on the website, optimizes for conversion rate as much as possible. If you can get that to 2.5% even, I think you got a product that could scale pretty quickly. I don't know what your goal. Do you have like a 12-month goal, or ultimately where you want this business to be? Have you thought about that?
We've had a few conversations about it. I mean, one thing is we're already just reinvesting our profits back into the business, so we don't care about profits until the 1st of July.
Okay.
So that's kind of one plan. We definitely want to ramp it up to 10K next month.
Okay. Yeah.
And we've got a few things in mind we're doing for that. We're going to add some more pages to the website.
Yep.
If we do start getting a few more sales and dropping a bit more ad spend in, we'll have some leftover profits to hire some people like you guys to help us.
Yeah.
So we're going to do it quite naturally, and we're going to focus on the story, the personal branding, feature us on the site, because I've got a family. Those two little girls you saw there are my daughters. I didn't pay them for the photography, but I gave them a Macca's run.
Nice.
So even though I'm trying to give them healthy food. But so we've definitely got a really good plan. We're very dedicated, and we're not after it like, hey, let's build this as a fad and take some money and leave. We've got a 5-year plan on this one, so we want to do sustainable business and really build the brand and do everything in the most genuine way possible.
Yep. Perfect.
It's a great, simple business. It's what Paul often refers to as a boring business in the best way possible. You've got a few products that do a really good job. They solve a real problem. People want to buy them. Easy to make, easy to ship, good pricing. So it's a really good business. So just as a word of advice that might apply to some other people, the last thing you want to do is go, oh, these are kind of working. Let's add more product. We're going to do a 7 version and an 8 version and ice cubes. And then we're going to do this and we're going to build more product and add more stuff. And because that's what a lot of people can do. Or you launch and it doesn't quite work. So then I'll add more product, I'll drop ship some more stuff, I'll go into a new vertical. Like obviously that's clearly not what you're thinking, but just to flag that for other people that are starting, get these 3 things selling really, really well. You know what it costs to acquire a customer. You can do it profitably. You're getting that repeat purchase. You really understand how to sell these 3 versions. And then you go, that's nailed. That's nailed on Meta. Now we add Google and that doubles the business. Now we build our SEO and our backlinking and that triples the business. And then we go into ice cube trays or whatever, right? Then you sort of start to build out different colorways and all that kind of stuff, but don't go to that stuff first. Just as a bit of a advice for other people on the call that may have a tendency to go too early into more product. It's rarely the solution.
Yeah, definitely. Like you do not need thousands of products. That is
depends. We have clients with 100,000 SKUs in the stores. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then there's like
crazy to manage.
10, like it's just depends on the business.
Good simple businesses, 2, 3, 4, 5 SKUs and doing 100K months. It's easy to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, I think we're doing pretty well for time, but like if you like that one, I'm happy to do another one. Just let me know in the chat if you want to see another one of these with someone else's business, or we can kind of head towards the end of it. But if you're keen,
that was super valuable. My only question is like with a website like this, because it's early days and we're kind of learning about conversion rates and stuff like that. What for we're selling these beautiful prepper trays, silicon grade. What should the conversion rate be? Because it seems a bit concerning that we have 100 people hitting the page and then 98% of them are looking at the page and going, don't want to abandon. Like, why are they leaving? Should we aim for a number like maybe 4% or?
Look, so this is like the classic how long is a piece of string question, unfortunately. Like context is so important. I'll give you an example of why, and I'll tell you what I think you should aim for. So I'll still give you a concrete answer. So, for example, with Bayside Golf, you sell the golf simulators for 10K a month. 10K piece. That's a very concerned purchase, and you're not going to have a 2% conversion rate. They're like 1%. But for that business, that's very friggin' good. They're at like a 50 times return on their ad spend, right? Like because it's very high ticket. Now, your business, it's decent AOV for the product it is, but it is like a pretty clear what it is. I think it's not a lot of competition in that people have. I think like for that kind of a niche, you should be aiming for about 2 to 3, if not up to 4%. And it's not like to say if you get to 2.5 and not 4 that it's bad. It's just that you have the room to be up there, even higher, honestly. And you should aim as high as possible. But what everyone should consider is, what are my numbers? Like, what do I need? What does my conversion rate need to be profitable as a business? That's the real question I can't answer. Literally every product is different. If we could get you to 2.5%, 3%, I'm pretty sure your ads would be killing it. Just general rule of thumb. The higher you can get, the better. But I can see there's a lot of areas to definitely optimize that website for sure.
Yeah, really good reply, and I think you nailed it right there. And it is a complicated question because it also depends on like where the customers are coming from and if they're quality leads. Because if you're dishing out shit posts on social media or ads that are not relevant or not communicating the profit well enough, you're just going to get a lot of people coming to the page and then bouncing. Yep. So right. So you've got to get the whole thing right. We've got to get quality from natural Google, quality from paid Google, quality from Meta, quality from posts, and then naturally the conversion rate will go up. So two months in, but we'll keep plugging it away. And Chris, I really appreciate the feature, buddy.
Absolutely, and I think that business is going to be huge in just a couple months' time. So thanks for joining in. Awesome. So I see a couple of you guys still keen for one more. I'll keep it shorter, but I'm happy to run through one more. Last I have there is Gene with contact patch performance tires. Let's have a look. See. All right, cool. Let's go through this interesting website. Jeannie, you there with me? Do we have Jean? You want to come off mute, Jean? I can see you there. You're on, can't hear.
Sorry, Chris. How are
All
you?
good. How are you?
Yeah, very well.
Awesome, awesome. What do you think of the session so far?
Yeah, pretty informative. It's probably some stuff I haven't heard before, but it's good to hear others.
Yeah, perfect. Sorry, I lost you there at the end a little bit, but all good. Tell me a little bit, mate, about the business. I'm guessing you already have a business, brick and mortar, and this is kind of like the website for it.
Yeah, look, we started just at the end of COVID, pretty much. We launched in August 2020. So
Yep.
the COVID, and I was working full time, and it was a side hustle for me for a few years. Until we decided to go full time with it in 2023. So it's going into something that's a viable business now. So
Awesome, awesome. Good to hear, mate. And I'm glad for the growth. Now, after going through what we've just been through, what do you think is missing on your website now that I land on it? Sorry, mate, you're on. I can't hear you. Keep losing you a little bit.
the sound here is very noisy. Sorry about the back.
No, you're all good.
What we're missing is probably, as a customer said to me the other day, that they would like to be able to enter them. So we do motorcycle tyres initially.
Yeah.
So they would put their motorcycle make and model, year model into the website, and us be able to come up with the right tyre selection for them, or different tyre sizes that they're something like that would be very handy. But with Shopify, it's very hard to have that functionality.
Oh, okay.
You can do it. We've done that for quite a few stores.
Yeah, that's kind of just a robust collections page, I think would really kind of sort that out. But look, when I see the website, this kind of seems to me more like, this is a very classic thing. Other people do this. It's more of a brochure for what you do, rather than what I said before was like your website should be your 24/7 salesperson. So one thing is just like, these are products we have. The other thing sells the products. And I'm assuming you'd rather have people making purchases on the website, or like you want to
traffic. And that's what they do. But the menu bar at the top this is basically a debut Shopify store. So our menu at the top, just tap on tyres, it'll go straight into all of our major brands, and you can go in about 3 clicks. You can make a purchase.
Yep, sure.
So be effective as long as they know what they're looking for. They can scroll until they find what they're after. But and we do have a search bar at the top. So if they know what type of tyre they're looking for, they tap it into the search and they'll go straight to the product.
Yep, gotcha. And where do you feel like, is there anything that you're having issues with in terms of the online side of the business? If this is working for you, then I want to make sure I can give you some sort of help. Yeah,
look, without my suppliers' APIs, it's very hard to keep up to date with what stock we have and what they have, because nothing's manufactured in Australia anymore, and unfortunately we have to wait. We're relying on shipping of our suppliers of products coming into the country. So it can be touch and go whether we can get our hands on the stock quickly. If we don't have stock of it in our warehouse here in Burleigh Heads, we have to therefore go straight to our suppliers, and hopefully they can get it to us within our shipping time frame. Knowing running a website without an API is difficult when you've got 16,500 products in the website currently. So what you're saying,
I would fix that ASAP. I would change that ASAP. Is it like, have you given it a go, or
using the no, I haven't had a go yet. I don't know where to start.
Gotcha.
How to do that?
Yeah, no worries. Look, we can. This is more of a technical thing, and we can definitely help out with that kind of afterwards. It's more of like a tech issue thing. I would say in terms of the website, though, I would kind of really encourage you to tackle what we're going through before in terms of making it very clear when people land on your website. Again, to me, it just looks like a brochure, and if people know you, they're going to know what to do. But if you're trying to grow this business online, you got to think, I'm sending traffic to people who don't know me. This is cold audiences. They might not know exactly what to do and where to go. So what I would do is I would really make this something that, is like before, like with any other business, very clear who we are, what we do, have that brand messaging very clear. Like we make all makes of bike tires from A to Z or whatever it might be, and make it clear what's my experience, what's my authority here, why should people come buy tires to me. And once you understand that, then you can build a website that basically anyone can come here and figure out how to buy tires from you. And that's going to be the goal. So I would go even further beyond just like your API connections. Those would be good now for your customers who already know you. But I mean, do you have a goal to grow the online side like a lot, or is just to?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We've grown it to a stage now where most of my conversion rate is in store. We've got a pretty good conversion rate of almost 4% at the moment. That's online and in store, but we don't have a lot of through traffic in the store. It's normally customers coming in for tire fitting.
Yeah.
So that's floating our conversion rate quite a bit.
Yes.
But without that, I'd like to be selling more online and shipping around the country. But so that's where
As
I want
it
to work
stands right now. It's fine when someone's in store and you can say, hey, just go here, look this up and buy from here. Of course, they're going to know and trust you. They'll do it. But when you start going to people who don't know you, and again, this is very important for everyone, the difference between a warm audience and a cold audience who doesn't know you is that, you have to build all that trust. If your website doesn't look up to scratch or doesn't look legitimate, they're not going to take that risk, especially for a concerned purchase like motorcycle parts. So you've got to really look. I can see here. I mean, you told me you got years of experience. We got verified 5-star reviews. We got to bake this in a whole lot more and really show people who we are and what we do. When you got that, then the way you're going to grow this business, because right now, obviously, you're relying on foot traffic to get the online sales. So it's just, however you're getting your traffic now to your brick and mortar. As soon as you want to grow this business, we're going to have to get more traffic to the website. And that's where it's going to really be tested. And you'll see, I don't think the conversion rate would go very high. Just if it was tested currently. So for you, Gene, look, is this like a sooner rather than later? You want the online side, kind of pumping.
Yeah, 100%. We want to get it going as soon as we can, and over Christmas, we spent a bit of time over the Christmas break trying to get the back end of the website going for online sales.
Yeah.
In saying that, we're 3 weeks back nearly into the new year, and we haven't actually got that side up and running yet. So, spending time on the business instead of in the business is really hard because I'm a one-man circus basically.
Yes. Now here's what I would say. Like, obviously, it's annoying without the API connections done correctly, and the back end stuff is super important. But currently, it's just traffic it's just people you already know. So it's kind of manageable. I'm assuming for now, it's just annoying. I'm guessing.
It's manageable, but
you don't want to do it. Yeah. Absolutely. Look, I definitely think those things, it'd be good to have that, definitely with a website like this, and we can talk about afterwards kind of technically how to help out there. But meanwhile, in terms of working on the business, the things you got to do is going to be those two other sides. It's going to be turning this from a brochure website to a high converting website where it's got the right structures and all the features that will help people buy from you easily, even if they don't know you, but also the brand messaging that's going to outline why they should be buying from you. You have those two things, and then I think you'll be good to go. It's the same with most businesses. Until then, I wouldn't touch ads or anything. I would really solve these problems first and set up yourself for scale.
Okay, thanks, Chris.
No worries, mate. Any other questions that you want to go through?
Yeah, look, I'll probably think of them as soon as we get offline, but
no worries. That's typically how it works. All good. Well, thank you so much, guys. So I'm going to start wrapping up the session, but I do want to go through a couple things with you. So let me just go ahead and get up my screen again. Let me know, guys, was this helpful? Like, do you feel like you genuinely have learned a couple of things? So you can be very honest with me. If you don't think it was helpful, I do take criticisms. So let me know, honest feedback. But we're going to head towards the end here. And I'm going to get you guys to be a little bit vulnerable with me as well. No worries, Heineck. Thank you for coming by. So let me just get this up. All right, cool. So I want to kind of ask you guys to be a little bit vulnerable with me and really rate yourselves here. So I'm going to give you a bit of time, and I want everyone to answer this, and I'm going to go through and make sure everyone has answered. But just on story, and strategy. Obviously, green being really good, I'm awesome. Yellow being I need some work, and red being it needs to be fixed tomorrow. If you've already got a business, where do you think you stand with each of these? And then for those who are still trying to make a business for themselves or starting, how do you feel in terms of your confidence in attacking these things? Just give me an honest rating. You're showing probably 3 out. Andrew, are you saying my workshop was 3 out of 10, or you rate your business 3 out of 10? That could be offensive, and I'll tell you, yeah, all good. I was hoping so. But I can take the hits. If you think I'm 3 out of 10, tell me. All good. But yeah, guys.
We'll say that's a red light.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, look, do numbers, do the green, yellow, red, whatever works for you. But thank you, Andrew, for sharing. 3 out of 10, awesome. So we know what we've got to work on. Gene, I want you to answer that. Justin, Joe, you guys, Julie, Gaurav, Jeff, Harnick, Gene. Again, I don't know, it's 2 Genes. Deb, everyone here. Nicola, 1 yellow, 2 reds. Understood. Luke, green and story, awesome. Yellow and store. Okay, one of those is store.
Yes, we build websites, Andrew.
Okay, that's store. Yes. Yeah. Yellow and story. Awesome. And that's going to be a work in progress. Red and strategy. That's the next step. Once we get the other ones green, then you're good to go. Do you create a website for businesses? Absolutely do, Andrew. We'll give a chance to kind of tee up all this stuff for chatting afterwards towards the end. Do not know yet, to be honest, too early for me, Harnick. Well, you can ask yourself now, Harnick, like if you were to just leave and start working on this stuff right now, do you feel like you have an understanding of it? That's kind of more what I'm at. UD, yellow, yellow, yellow. Awesome. I would agree with you as well, UD and Joe. Johnny, yellow, yellow, red. Lovely. Deb, 1 yellow, 2 reds. Awesome. My brand is designed yellow. Yep, yellow for Julie. Cool. Lumia, yellow, green, yellow. Awesome. Perfect. So it's good. The reason I do this, guys, is because I want you guys to be able to see, like, practically, this is where I need to be. This is what I need to be working on. So my next question for you is, that's my thing after that. The big question is, if I could get you guys from the reds and yellows on each of these things, if I could help you get to green in all 3 of these, do you believe that A, your business you're already running would be way more successful and you'd be able to scale, or B, that you'd be able to start a successful e-commerce business and you'd have a lot better go at it if you had these things green? Yes from Johnny. This is an honest, like, I want to know yes or no if you think that this is like something that would genuinely help you. Yes from Deb. Yes from Johnny. Yes, Gaurav. Awesome. Yes, UD. Lumea. Harnick. Awesome. Perfect. Good. I'm glad you say that because I agree too. This is literally what we do with brands. This is how we take them from A to B. It's what we focus on. It is the needle movers are these 3 things. Yes, Gene, perfect. And the other reason why I say that is because that is what we teach inside our e-commerce Circle Connect program. Now, at the start, I mentioned I'll let you guys know how you can work with us moving forward. And I want to talk to you about this program quickly. I think I spoke with a lot of you on the phone previously, and I mentioned that we have a private mentoring community. Now, if you liked the workshop today, if you found it useful having someone go through strategy to ask questions to learn from, we do about 8 calls like this inside the e-commerce Circle Connect program. And this was obviously a lot more high level, top-down view. On these calls, we get very specific into meta ads, Google ads, conversion rate optimization, brand messaging with Chris McLean. There's even marketing calls, Klaviyo calls. We go really nitty gritty in the how and the what. So basically anything you're going to need help with, you can come to the e-commerce Circle and come to a live call 8 times a week and get direct help with these topics. Not only that, we also have what is a Slack community. Now, let me know, guys, if you've used Slack before. If you haven't, I'll quickly explain what it is anyway. Slack is just like Facebook. It's more organized. So this is where we hold the e-commerce Circle community. Yeah, every day, Justin. I know a few of you probably already use it with work or other things, which is awesome. But for those of you who haven't, again, it's just a forum really where we have our different channels. And essentially what this is our community where you get support throughout the week. So anytime that you have any issues or any question with e-commerce, much like you do on this call, you come to the Slack channel and you ask away. And it's full of not just us and our coaches, but about 200 other Aussie e-commerce brands who are all either from scratch or scaling to 6 and 7 figures per month. And the thing here is, guys, that we're very big on, to be frank with you, it's a no dickhead policy. So we only want people in there who, are genuinely there to grow their businesses, who want to learn and also love to give back. And you can just see here, this is kind of like what it looks like in the Slack channel. So we've got the different channels with the different levels of support for the different things. For example, if you need help with a Shopify website, a technical issue, our dev team sits inside our Shopify support channel, and you can go there and for about an hour a day, they sit there and answer questions. And this is just what some of our calls look like. So you'll get on, and for each call, you have a certified coach for each. When I say certified, they don't have a certification, but what they do is they actually work on our clients in these specific fields. So for example, Lockie, who's our head of meta ads, Lockie over here, he runs ads for a lot of the clients that we are scaling to 6 and 7 figures. So every time you're learning from these guys, you're not just learning theory. Like I mentioned at the start, you're literally learning what is working for us right now across all the other niches that we work with. So it's all relevant information. And the idea here is, guys, we're going to keep you up to date with what's working. So you come along, learn the processes, and continuously get feedback from coming to the calls and engaging the community. And this is how we've helped people like Jade at the start I mentioned go from no product to 15K per month. We helped Karen go from an Etsy store to 20K a month. And all the other brands as well who came in already with a business hit their first 50K and six-figure months as well. We teach all that in here. And I think I had a couple of people who I spoke to as well who were like, oh, look, I'm not looking to spend thousands of dollars. Awesome. Good. That's completely fine. A lot of you shouldn't be yet, like you're not in that stage. Some of you are, but a lot of you are really at the stage where you just need, you can correct me if I'm wrong, you just need strategies that are working and guidance. And with those two things, you can get this story, and strategy to a green. And so our goal here is to make it as accessible as possible because basically the more of you I can help grow to a bigger business, then there's more of you that I can work with to help on your website, help your brand messaging, help you scale basically. So we make this community $97 a month and you get access to all of that. So I want to make this as no-brainer for you to get in and give it a shot as possible. So what I always say to people is, if you think you got any value out of the free call today, get into the group for a month, spend $97 with me. And at the end of the month, if you really felt like it wasn't any good for you, it wasn't helpful, then you discontinue. You don't have to pay anymore. You unsubscribe. We don't lock you in. Of course, you can do a year's contract if you want to save some money, but the option's right there to just do monthly if you want for $97. And I encourage this to everyone, even if you don't have a product yet. The number one thing to do for a person who doesn't have a product is to be around other brands talking about their businesses so you can get ideas and people to bounce info off. And even for the people who are scaling, I'll tell you why. You get it? Awesome, Justin. Perfect. I'll see you in there. And I'm going to give you another reason. Even if you're someone who wants more hands-on stuff, there is something that we're actually doing now, and it's kind of a bit of an incentive. I love action takers. I want to see, ideally, everyone who came here, I want to see in the circle by tonight. So what I'm doing is a bit of a before midnight bonus. So everyone who gets in before midnight gets access to Connect. I'm going to do a one-to-one strategy directly with you. This will be me. We're going to sit down for 30 minutes. And the reason I want to do this is because in the e-commerce circle, it's like a university. We teach so much stuff. But like I said before, I'm not trying to give you more homework. I want to condense the time that you have to spend in your business in order to see results. Because I know we all have lives, right? And the way we do this is to get very laser focused on where you need to focus, like I did with Joe as well earlier today with his plan. I want to do the same thing with all of you. So you can come in and you know exactly where to focus and what you need to do to grow your business inside the e-commerce circle. So if you want to get one of those fast path plans with me, then take advantage, get in before midnight. I'll see you in there and we'll kind of get this booked tomorrow. But even if you're someone, for example, in a business who just needs a website built for them, if you're already scaling, then I still want to see you in here. But what we'll do is on this fast path plan call, instead we'll be talking about like what our moves next together as a one-to-one client will look like. So everyone in here, guys, this is the place to be if you want continued support. I think we're all definitely at that level. There's a lot of people who are starting up who I think will benefit from this a lot. But what I'll do is, honestly, I'll get Roxy and Chris, if you can leave a link in chat, just drop it there for us. And no worries, Lou. No problem. I'm glad you could make it. We'll have a link in the chat to jump into Connect, and you can jump in now. But what I'll also do is I'm just going to kind of open the floor to some questions. I like to hang around for a bit. We've got a pretty interactive audience, and I want to give you guys a chance to just ask any questions you might have about the circle, about us, or about anything to do with e-commerce, really. Chris has just left the link there. Roxy's left the link. Click through either of those, select the plan you want, and jump in, and we'll get that fast path plan booked. But in the meantime, guys, I'll take it off share. I still see there's a bunch of you here, which is awesome. I love to see it. Floor's yours. Any questions you might have, go for it. I see Johnny's here, Justin's here, Joe's here, Jean, Julie, Garav, UD. A fair few of you are still here, which is awesome. So any questions, guys? I'll give you a couple minutes. All right. So once we sign up, are there additional costs? No, Johnny. $97. Jump in. That's it. The only other cost will be like if you want to do ads, obviously you'll have to pay for ads. And what we do is basically so the $97 a month, this is like the most value pack, like done with like the educational guidance type product I think you'll ever see. And when people kind of want more things done more for them, and when I say scaling, the reason I say that is because like they typically have less time when they're scaling the business because they're already so busy. They probably need more hands-on stuff done for them. And we do offer that. So if you want stuff done directly for you, we can offer like that kind of work in most of these areas for further investment. But basically, you get access to all the coaching calls, all of our courses to get you up to date, and the community for $97 a month. We try and cover a lot for that price. And if you think I've never heard anyone tell me it's a rip-off in my life. All right, Justin, can I go away and do some work and plan and come back to do one? Look, you can, but like I always recommend, like I don't really see the point of the planning and the work without the actual guidance. Like the whole point of what the circle is to make sure, like, is actually speed it up for you and give you the guidance on how to do the planning and the work and to set up the structures. So if you want to get in and do things right from the very beginning, like just get in and try it. Like again, like try the first month, and if you think it's just not for you again, which I don't hear very often, then at least you give them a go. Deb, would you say that it would help brand push if you have an Etsy store? Yeah, look, Etsy is just another platform, and there are going to be some people who just use Etsy that don't use Shopify. By all means, like have an Etsy store, but you'll find if you're trying to grow a brand long term, definitely you want to be in Shopify because you're going to be able to collect you get a lot more control over data and things like this and traffic that it just make more sense. But like if you want to create another platform, by all means, Etsy is good too. What packages do you offer? Is there a website design? Look, a lot, Andrew. Too much to go over on this call. So definitely get in the circle, and we'll do a fast path plan call. And if you do move forward with any investments with us, I'll just take the $97 off what you pay us anyway. But we help people in so many different ways, man. It's like very dependent on your situation. Justin, more around the actual product. Yeah, like I said before, mate. There's nothing better for you when your idea, coming up with ideas for products than to be around other business owners, coming to these calls when you can and asking questions. It's going to help you. Look, someone joined this workshop a year ago. She jumped in with no product. This is Jade. Again, did it like with full-time work, kids, and just came to watch the recordings of our calls and just like follow that guidance. Came up with an awesome product that suited her and has scaled the business about 15K a month already. So I think it's still very beneficial for you to jump in. How do you assist with selecting products, for example? It's just as simple as just discussion. Like we need people to bounce off and ideas. I want you to be around other business owners, and my advice straight away is going to be think of things that you're interested in. Simple as that. That products that you have an authority in. Start there. You don't have to be super passionate about it, but I want you to be passionate about the business. So start in somewhere that you have authority. And the reason I think the circle will be great for you is because you're going to have 200 other people in there who you can brainstorm ideas with, bounce product ideas off, and get feedback directly. No worries, Justin. Thank you so much, mate. Hopefully that was clear for you. I see Gorav, you're still chilling there. Julie, you're still there. Gene, any questions for you? Are you guys on the fence? Are you thinking, is this the thing for me? Lumia, thank you again. No worries, Johnny. I'll see you in there. Any questions at all? I see you still hanging around, so I can only imagine that there's something that you guys are pondering. Thank you. Jumped on late. No worries, mate. If you missed a lot, I'd recommend grab the recording as well. Very interested session. No worries, Harnik. I want to see you in there as well. UD, thank you. No worries. You guys will do awesome too. Definitely want to see you in there on that fast path plan call. I appreciate the thank yous, guys. I love them. What questions do you have? I don't want to take your time. Is very important to me. So if you're here, let's use it. Like, what are you guys thinking? Justin, go away. Like, go for it. You don't have to put your hands up. Just go for the chat, and then you can even come off mute. If you want to come off mute as well and ask, go for it, mate.
No, I was just saying goodbye. I've got quite a bit to think over in the next couple of hours, and I'm going to take advantage of that before midnight.
Let's do it.
Great. When you were looking at that Prep It store, obviously a great store already, but just the finer detail is more.
Well,
yeah. So I just
thing is, Justin, we can only cover so much in 1 hour. That is my limitation here. I can promise you, like, again, this is the same thing I'll say to Andrew. If you like what we did in this workshop and you found it informative, what we do in the calls in the circle and the education there, it's like 10 times better because we go into detail on each bit. So if you need certain areas of help, you're going to get a lot more detailed help than that. Obviously, this is a very high level, just the basics kind of thing. So I definitely think you'll find the value in there. And yeah, like Chris has said to Andrew, it's not a course. Like we have courses in there, but those are just to get you up to speed with our processes. We cover the three things and beyond that you need to focus on to create in any niche a profitable e-commerce business. That's your brand messaging, a high converting website, and a digital strategy. If you think you can get that anywhere else for $97, or just you'll be able to YouTube it yourself, go for it. And I'll see you in a month's time or on next week's call, and you'll probably be ready to hear the same story. Will you send the link via email? So Johnny, once you jump in, so guys, that link, can you drop the link again, Roxy and Chris, for those who are still in attendance? And we will follow up in SMS, guys, with the link as well. If you lose it, don't worry. But once you join up the link, there'll be checkout. Select the one you want, and basically from there you'll get emailed automatically with access to the Slack. So you'll just follow that along. It's pretty simple, guys. You jump in there. What I want you to do is jump in, and once you're in the Slack, there's a welcome channel. Go there. It'll take you through where everything. Excuse me, guys. You want to go there, and it'll take you through where everything is, so you can get comfortable, and then introduce yourself in the general channel. Gene, no worries, mate. Thank you for being here. Hopefully, I'll see you in there too. So yeah, introduce yourself, get comfy, and then you'll start seeing where everything is, making your friends in there, and away you go.
You'll probably get a message from me as well when you get in there. So
yeah.
You're never alone. Our team will support you, get you set up.
Yeah. Something about our coaches is that they're just generally very good people, and with the time that they do have, they're always around. If people ask them questions, they're there to answer them. Like that is like they're just very helpful people, and you'll see when you come on the live calls. Like I can't even hold a candle to some of these guys in terms of like their knowledge and how useful they are in their areas. So you'll see kind of when you're in there and learning from these guys, you'll be like, it's crazy that you're paying $97 for this, which is what we hear typically. And I'll explain it again, guys, why we make it cheap. The reason again is because I believe in like creating my own future clients. And when I say clients, I mean people who I can do big pieces of work with who are scaling their business. And what I want to do is get people who are just starting this as a business, as a passion or a hobby for side income, and turn you into that business that I can then do further work with. And the only way I can do that is by helping you succeed. That's why we kind of make this very accessible to everybody. So if it seems too good to be true, that's the reason why.
All the calls, are they all outside hours, like at 5 o'clock starts and stuff like that?
No, we do in business hours, but we also record all of our sessions. So then you can have access to everything. And if you feel like you really can't make them, but you want to ask questions and you don't just want the recordings, then you can simply just like get in touch with the coaches and send through some questions that you might have, and they can help you out anyway. So
yeah, the calls are all at 10 a.m. Melbourne time this year.
Okay, and typically how long do they go for, guys?
7 hours, Justin? No, they usually go for about an hour. Hour to 90 minutes, but usually about an hour. We're pretty tight.
So there'll be a topic to go through, and then at the end, you get to ask questions. It's kind of like just the easiest way we share what's working, and then you get to get your feedback directly as well. So
thanks, guys.
No worries, Justin. Have a good one.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. We've got a couple more. We've still got 15 people on here. I still got Jean, Julie, Gaurav. I appreciate you being here. I'm definitely not holding you to be. Any other questions you got before we finish things off and head off with our nights? No, seems good. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We're such an awesome crowd today. I look forward to seeing all of you inside the e-commerce circle, and we'll get building those businesses that you guys want so badly. All right.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, everyone. It was awesome.
Of course. So yeah, have a great week.